Crowding an already full news cycle today was word that James Wolfe, seen here leaving court just moments ago, who served as the Senate Intel Committee's security director for 29 years, has been indicted for lying to the FBI about leaks to the press. Joining me now to discuss this and other security developments is Texas Congressman Louie Gohmert, member of the House Judiciary Committee. When it rains, it pours, Congressman. There's just so much to talk about. But this guy in particular, he wasn't just a low-level staffer. He was head of security for the Senate Intel Committee. Right. And if he is leaking, I guess it's fair to say that people, you know, the minions under him could be leaking as well.
Well, that's quite true. It could have been, because he certainly wouldn't report them since he was doing it himself. And I guess 28, 29 years in that position, you know, familiarity breeds contempt. And
let's talk about specifically what he was leaking, because that's the first question people have been asking me, what this guy was leaking. It was stuff about, at least the only stuff that we know about, was stuff about Carter Page, the guy who a lot of people, anti-Trump folks, were trying to link to Russia. Carter Page was the link to Russia and the Trump campaign. That's what they claim, and that's what he was leaking. Do we know more than that about what it was he was leaking about Carter Page?
Not any more specifics yet, but it tells you the state is deep, and there are a lot of people around the Hill that did not want Donald Trump to win. He is not part of the deep state. He had made clear he wanted to clean out the swamp, drain the swamp. And so what you have is one of the swamp creatures. But, David, I don't think we need to lose sight of the fact, again, this is a headline, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump, the Trump campaign, Russia, or anything of that nature. This is a guy that needed to be cleaned out, but that is not something we needed Robert Mueller for. Right. We need somebody to clean out Robert Mueller. We didn't need Mueller to do this. This needed to be done, but this was not the purpose of having a special counsel.
Right.
It should be the purpose of having a special counsel to clean out Mueller's closet, but again, this has nothing to do. This is just another little thing behind the curtain to make it look like Mueller is doing something, but this is nothing he was hired or brought on to do.
There is something about this case, the finding that this guy was apparently leaking to the press and lied to the FBI about it. The reporter to whom he was leaking the information, she now works for the New York Times. She was working for BuzzFeed at the time of this particular leak. Some people say it was too much to go into her records, to go into her phone records and her email records in order to focus on this guy. What do you think about that?
I think that apparently he had been around long enough that he knew the Mueller and Comey techniques. He used the same techniques, for example, that Comey did. He had somebody in the media, somebody friendly he could leak stuff to. He had learned from the best. He learned from Comey, he learned from Mueller, like when Mueller leaked stuff about Kurt Weldon or somebody on his behalf. So this is another creature of the swamp, just like Mueller and Comey are, and Weissman and Rosenstein. So, I mean, for heaven's sake, though, David, don't lose sight of it. They are coming after him tooth and nail for doing the same thing that Comey and Mueller have done throughout their career.
Congressman, very quickly, we got word that the actual IG report, the Inspector General's report, which has been looking into the Hillary thing, is going to be coming out on the president's birthday probably next week. Do you think that we're going to find out anything interesting there?
Sure, there are going to be a number of interesting things, but not nearly as important or as interesting as it would have been if it had come out 6 months ago, before the people inside the Justice Department had a chance to put pressure on Horowitz to clean this thing up, try not to hurt too many people too deeply. So I'm trying to prepare people. This isn't going to be the blockbuster deal. That takes a second counsel to go into this stuff, because Mueller, Comey, they're not going to let this guy come out and hurt them too badly. Right.
Well, the second counsel discussion is a long one. We're going to have to save that for later. Congressman Louie Gohmert, have a great weekend.
For a year. A year.
Thank you, sir. Good to see you again. Appreciate it.